Kuntu was a man everyone feared. He was a slave trader, brutal and merciless, the kind of man whose name made even grown men tremble. He was rich, richer than anyone around him, but his wealth was soaked in the tears of the poor. In his compound, guards moved like hounds, and no one dared to look him in the eye for long. He ruled with cruelty, and his shadow fell heavy over the land. It was not only those who offended him that suffered. Kunto's greed swallowed the innocent too. A poor farmer who could not pay a debt would see his children chained. A widow refusing to give up her land would vanish the next day, sold off like livestock. Entire families disappeared at his command. Their cries ignored, their lives traded for gunpowder, cowries, and other European items. He even laid ambushes for travelers, letting his raiders capture them so he could sell them later. No one was safe, not even his own kinsmen. His cruelty was without end. But his son, Kunta, was different. Where the father's heart was iron, the son's was tender. Kunta hated the chains, the screams, the sight of men and women locked in the dungeon behind his father's compound. At night, when the guards grew careless, he sometimes sneaked in to free a captive or loosen the ropes on their wrists. Sometimes he succeeded, and the captives fled into the dark. Other times he was caught, and then the punishment was brutal. He was beaten until his body burned with pain, locked up for days without food. Kunt endured it all because no punishments could crush the hatred he carried for his father's trade. There was one more thing that made his father's anger burn hotter. A girl. Her name was Ifedi. She was quiet and beautiful in a simple way, her presence enough to make Kunta's heart restless. But his father had warned him never to be seen with her. He had sworn that if he caught them together again, he would sell her to the Europeans without hesitation. The threat was no empty one. Kunta knew his father well enough to fear it. Ifedi, too, feared Kuntu. She avoided Kunta whenever she could, keeping her words short, her eyes lowered. She wanted no trouble, and certainly not the kind that could end with her in chains. Yet Kunta could not keep away. He followed her footsteps from a distance, watched her quietly, his love mixed with guilt and danger. One evening, Ifedi returned from the stream, balancing a clay pot on her head, her wrapper damp against her legs. The path was quiet. The only sound was the rustle of leaves and her steady footsteps. Kunta followed her from behind, his chest heavy with longing and defiance. He knew he was risking everything, yet he walked on, refusing to let her go. Then the silence broke. From the bend in the path came the heavy tramp of feet, the murmur of deep voices. Kunto appeared, flanked by his guards, their eyes sharp, their spears gleaming in the dying light. He stopped when he saw them, his son trailing after the girl he had forbidden. Ifedi froze, the pot trembling on her head. Kunta's breath caught in his throat. The air grew heavy, and the guards stood still, waiting for their master's command. Kunto's gaze fell on them, dark and cold. His promise hung in the air like a blade. When he told his son, "The next time I see you with her, I will sell her." And now, he had seen.